So we have a number of presets on our displacement ocean shader, just because there's a lot of parameters for the displacement, which is great and makes it really powerful. We have sort of our core ocean section here, which are the main waves, sort of the low frequency waves. So these ones, and that's controlled by a switch. So that's set to 1 by default. So that's core ocean switch. And then down here, we have the sharp crested displacement, and that switches onto 1. That means they're on. So it's kind of the really high frequency stuff that sits on top of this. And when we animate the lower frequency waves, we can also animate these or just keep them still. So it just gives you sort of the option in layers. And then this is also that sharp crested displacement. There's a switch called peaks that can be 0 and 1, and that sort of inverts that noise and makes these kind of sharper peaks. If you're looking kind of straight down, they're not as desirable, but if you're looking at a more of a grazing angle, like the camera's into the waves, these get these nice little sort of pointy sections, and that's one of the powers of what we call our choppy ocean shader. So because there's a number of different parameters that are procedural noise parameters, we're going to be saving a lot of presets, so it's kind of easier for you. And how do you use these presets? Well, just to see them in action, I've pre-saved them. So for example, this is view 1. So if we go into presets, and we're going to move this a little bit over so you can kind of see it because it goes off screen. So here we go. I'll just move it over. I'm going to choose DISP Choppy Ocean View 1. So I'll hit replace, and it basically replaces all these parameters in here if you haven't used presets before, and that turns a sharp crest switch off. And that's pretty much all it does, but we'll have other presets that can do a lot more here. And then if we go back here and do, for example, 3, it's going to turn that switch on, and it's going to turn the peaks on, etc., etc. So you get the idea there. So we'll just put that kind of back down where it was. And also, for our PXR Disney shader in RIS, that's what's sitting on the ocean surface because we're in RIS mode. We're going to do the same thing. And we have a preset. We have a lot of presets in the Disney, but I have one called Ocean, and you can just find it in here. We're going to go probably up screen a lot, but it'll show up in here when you install it, and that's called Ocean, and that'll just give you those colors. But the most important one is this displacement shader one. So if you click on that RenderMan displacement node, hit presets, you'll see those in there. And those will get you the 3 different renders. So just the base core ocean displacement waves, turning on the sharp crested peaks, and then turning peaks on. And how do you install these? Well, let's go into the Finder. I'm on OS X here. So when you open up the package, there will be a presets directory. So you'll go into presets, and then you'll see these folders, PXR Disney, and there's one in here called Ocean 1. And that's the one that we're seeing there. And then there's the 3 presets for the displacement shader. And then I've also saved the renders as reference. So all you do is you grab these 2 folders, and then you copy them into your Maya presets directory. Well, where is the Maya presets directory? So at the bottom here, we have my OS X machine, and under my home directory, library preferences, Autodesk Maya 26in presets, attribute presets, all the way in here in Maya 2014. It's also in the presets directory. So you just have to navigate to that. If you're on Windows, that'll be, I think, in your My Documents folder. If you're on Linux, it might just be just off your home folder called Maya, but you got to go into wherever your Maya sort of a library is, or wherever your Maya user preferences are. Just go into presets, attribute presets, and then here I've already got some in here. So all I have to do is cut and paste those 2, just copy them over here, and I've already got them in here, as you can see, RenderMan displacement. And then as soon as you do that, you just have to restart Maya, or Maya may pick it up right away, and then when you click this button, you'll see them in there. So that's how you use presets. If you have any handy presets that you want to share with us or other users, please send us an email at info@lollipopshaders.com, and we'd be happy to post them as well as renders with them, because there's just a lot of different things you can do with this choppy ocean displacement shader, and these presets are going to make it a lot easier for you to kind of jump in between all these different settings. And if you don't have Maya, or if you're just curious about the presets, you can always load them up in a text editor like I have here, and then it just shows you all the values in here, so you could just actually read them or modify them here because they're just ASCII text files. So give that a try.